If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kinda patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. And grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins. Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins, grow your coins.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am live. It is Friday, and I am the Crypto Crow. And I figure I'm adjusting some things, doing some different things. I've been working all day. Password updated. Yay! For those of you that received an email recently about CryptoCrow.io and needing to reset your password, it now works. There were about 745 of you that should have got an email. If you've joined any of my email platforms over time, I'm trying to consolidate everything into one platform that I control fully. And it looks like I think everything's working. And there are a couple of issues that basically I think have been fleshed out. So you guys can know that. So why has Bitcoin's price basically been channeling between 85,000 and 90,000 now for a while? We're going to go into that. We're going to explain a lot of what's been happening and why it very likely is going to expire in 7 days. This is a big video, I think, because it's been frustrating. And a lot of people have been trying to figure out, like, why have we been ultimately ranging? Why are alts bleeding? Why is all this happening? How low are we going to go? Really, there's so much happening in the options market, and we're going to dive into that. I'm going to read basically a whole piece, and we're going to cover some other stuff. Some stuff happening with Solana that is actually very odd, yeah, it's very odd. There's some really weird stuff happening with Solana. I really don't know how the narrative continues. I really don't. But we're going to dive into that a little bit. There's a piece I'm going to share, and then we're going to look at price action a little bit, but not too deep, because quite frankly, I don't think it matters that much right now. Let's take a quick look at some questions. Oh yeah, why is my show comments on stage? Yeah, there we go. I guess I have to do that for every video. Let's see. Hey there, Jason. Already got a job. You really got promoted from AOS in his last video. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. From AOS. But no, I haven't located a job or anything yet. I mean, I did put it out there on Twitter that I'm basically entering the job market. And, some people are taking this like, oh man, Cardano bulls are cooked and this and that. It's like, no, it's not like that. I just don't want to sell any of the holdings I've accumulated for the last 3.5 years. I've sold a little bit to give me a buffer so that we can live and all of that. But the entire market has been down. Like, I don't think there's a single altcoin in the space that hasn't bled against Bitcoin. Everything is down, some worse than others for different reasons. But yeah, it's not about like an end of the world thing. It's just this is for me looking to get to kind of join the job market is multifaceted. Some of that has to do with me really just wanting to interact with people again. I've been in my own little personal HQ bubble now for years, doing everything on my own basically since 2017. I'm trying to turn over some new leaves. I'm trying to grow in a lot of ways. And to be honest with you, I actually really missed being a consultant for mortgage companies, even though my skill sets can be really for anybody. I mean, I used to coach sales teams. I used to do a lot of marketing and a lot of education, a lot of training of salespeople, and there's a lot, and I was really good at it. I mean, I was really good at it. but primarily mortgage companies, because I understood the through and through of that industry. Having done it, started from the bottom, dialing for dollars, and becoming one of the top LOs in refinance, and then being one of the top guys in purchase, and then becoming an independent business development consultant for a new branch as an employee. And then I basically took all my successes there and I went independent, and I started farming myself out ultimately to a couple different mortgage companies, and I would double their volume in like 6 months, 9 months. So my approach to it worked really, really well. But then I discovered crypto, and then I started doing all of that full time. And it's like there are a lot of things about kind of helping change lives and really helping to build careers for people. And I got a lot out of that, believe it or not. And there is a big part of me that misses that. And so, yeah, I actually launched a page on cryptocrow.io. If you click the mortgage tab, and there's some information, my accolades, things that I've accomplished in that industry. And I want to get back to it. And I want to work with mortgage branch officers or branch managers again. And I can do a lot of it remotely if I need to on a consultancy basis. If there's a local branch or something, then that is definitely better. But I'm open. I'm actually talking to somebody from Intersect as well about a newsletter type deal. There are things. I'm just exploring options. I want to see what's available. What does somebody like me do today with my skill sets? And so, yeah. So anyway, it's not an end of the world thing. It's not like Cardano is cooked. Look at Crow, the biggest Cardano guy out there, and now he's looking for a job. It's not like that. Yeah, I do want to. I want to get back into the job world. I want to get back into building careers and doing a lot of the stuff I used to love to do. Yeah, but it's for a lot of reasons. If anything, it's because I want to make sure everything is solid, and I would like to accumulate more in the lows, not just sit around waiting for what I've already accumulated to get bigger and better. So there you go. Multiple birds with one stone by what I'm doing. So don't freak out. It's not an end of the world signal. All right. So let's dive into what's going on. I'm going to kind of get into this article a bit. And let's talk about it. The quiet before the storm. Why Bitcoin's 85K price is the invisible cage holding Bitcoin down, set to expire in 7 days. So Bitcoin's sitting pretty at around 85.5 right now. I'm not sure. I don't have a chart in front of me at the moment. Oh, wait, here. We can pull this up. What is Bitcoin doing? It's at 87,000 right now. So that's pretty cool. Where did my piece go? There it is. Okay. So it's pumped a little bit this morning. And honestly, it looks boring as hell. Everyone's staring at the same number day after day, thinking the market's just stuck. But here's what most people miss. There's a ton of hidden action happening under the surface. A $23.8 billion wall of derivatives contracts is set to blow up on December 26th. And when it does, things are going to get very interesting. Let me break down exactly what's happening here, because the numbers tell a completely different story than what you're seeing on the price chart. Right now, Bitcoin is stuck in what I'd call a mechanical vice. There's $584 million worth of opposing forces battling it out. Dealers and big institutions locked in a tug of war over the price. On one side, there's $231 million of call gamma pushing down from the price of $90,000, trying to keep the price from running. On the flip side, there's $353 million of put gamma pushing up from below. It's like someone's got Bitcoin in a hydraulic press, and that's exactly why the price feels so heavy. The real kicker, dealers have planted a massive pin right at 85,000. What I find also interesting is remember, Larry Fink was talking about how a lot of the sovereign wealth funds had accumulated around $80,000. So this basically keeps the price above their entries by about $5,000 and keeps them from suffering any, like whatever that would cause that the price would dip substantially. This is max gamma strike. Excuse me. They're forced to buy every dip and sell every rip. Excuse me. Holy cow. Which means they're literally creating artificial gravity at this exact level. It's mechanical, it's deliberate, and it's holding the price hostage. Just above us, it's a wall at $90,000. Big institutions sold upside calls and pocketed the premium. So they've got every reason to keep the price from breaking through. It's a concrete ceiling and it's working. Here's the scary part, though. The whole structure is fragile. We've got negative net gamma exposure of negative $122 million sitting underneath this setup. If we crack below 85 grand, everything flips. Dealers turn into short gamma sellers, and they'd be forced to dump $122 million worth of Bitcoin per every 1% drop. That's flash crash territory. The whole thing could unwind violently. The math says Bitcoin should be much higher. This is basically talking about Bitcoin's like real value at around $118,286, not 85.5. We're trading at a 28% discount to where we should actually be. That's massive. Think of it like this. There's a $33,000 vacuum between where Bitcoin is trading now and where the fundamentals say it should be. Nature doesn't like vacuums. Once that suppression lifts, the price is going to rush into fill that gap. It's not a prediction. It's a mathematical inevitability. December 26th is the deadline. This whole standoff ends on December 26th. That's when the dam breaks. Basically, this is all, one way or another, this is all concluding on December 26th, the day after Christmas. Most of us are hoping and praying for some sort of like Christmas run, right? Like some bullish Christmas run, especially as we head into 2026, which everyone the world over is claiming is going to be the biggest bull run year of crypto history. And, you know, we'll see. But from now until December 26th, expect Bitcoin to stay trapped in that $584 million vice. The price probably stays pinned around 85 grand because that's where the dealer pressure is strongest. Then on December 26th, the expiration clears the board. The dam breaks. Come January 2026, once the dust settles, I expect gravity to take over. Free from the pin, Bitcoin should snap back toward that 118,000 power law baseline. That's the math working itself out. The bottom line, the market's offering you a $33,000 per coin discount, but that deal only lasts until December 26th. Expiries clear the board. After that, the window closes. So I find that very, very, very helpful in a lot of ways, and just kind of putting what's happening and what's been going on into perspective to an extent. It's just the market working. You know, it's the market working. What a lot of us are calling, you know, manipulation and all of that. I mean, to some extent, there is some of that playing out. But I mean, none of these markets, whether it's crypto or TradFi or anything, none of them are void of manipulation in some way, shape, or form. It's just, you know, the crypto market, there's nobody really saying you can't do that. And so they're doing it. And the smartest guys in the world of finance are basically manipulating the markets to suit whoever's paying them to help. Solana AI token AVA plunges 96% after insiders snipe 40% of supply. Before I even get into this at all, and I'm not going to go super deep into it, but I'm really genuinely curious how, with the big case that's happening with like this big civil case with Pump.Fund and Solana and all of the inside, just all of the stuff surrounding Solana right now. It's like on one hand, you've got all of these bullish headlines, big partnerships that have been announced. I don't know how many of them are paid for. I don't know how many of them are like, hey, I'm so-and-so from Solana. I want to give you millions of dollars to work with us and this and that. And then they try to turn that into a big narrative. I know some of that happens, but there is so much it's truly dumbfounding to me how I think it's getting more and more difficult to try and control the Solana narrative for all of the bulls. I really do. And I genuinely mean that. I don't know how they're going to pull through a lot of this in the future. I mean, from a technical standpoint, information about the validators, the inflation rate, just there are so many things pointing to what I expect to be at some point the downfall of Solana. I'm really struggling because there's a big part of me that says, you know, I wish that were a way that we could all work together. But like when you're talking about a chain that, in my opinion, has been built from the ground up with tactics and just so many things that just feel ick. I don't know any other way to put it. Okay. And just the tribalism and everything. I don't know, man. There's just so much about Solana to me that it's like every time I want to turn around and I want to say, okay, Solana's not going anywhere. We need to all work together in a more cohesive ecosystem so that we can all benefit and grow from each other's perks and, you know, specialities, like whatever the hell it is. Something else comes out like this that I'm just like, my God. If crypto had a red light district, it would have a Solana logo on it. And so it makes things really difficult to want to just like make bygones and move forward. It's just one thing after another after another. A token can have thousands of holders and appear widely distributed on a surface level, yet remain completely centralized if those holders are just Sybil wallets, multiple wallets owned by one entity. Yeah, where's my mouse? There it is. I think. Is this it? Okay. Solana-based AI token AVA, known by its ticker AVA, has plunged more than 96% from its peak after new on-chain analysis raised questions about how the token supply was distributed at launch and whether insiders coordinated early purchases. The latest findings come from blockchain analytics firms Bubble Maps. That's actually a pretty cool platform, which published an analysis on X showing that around 40% of AVA's total supply was accumulated at launch by a cluster of wallets linked to the token's deployer. Wallet clustering points to AVA tokens sniping at launch. According to Bubble Maps, the wallets were funded shortly before launch, showing no prior on-chain activity, and bought large amounts of AVA as soon as the token became available. AVA launched on November 13th, 2024 on Pump.fun, of course, a Solana-based meme coin launch platform that promotes fair and decentralized token launches. I mean, I guess that'll come out in court, whether that's true or not. The project gained early attention as one of the first 3D AI agent tokens backed by Hollow World AI, a polychain capital portfolio company. By January 2024, or January 2025, rather, AVA had reached a fully diluted valuation of roughly $300 million, driven by a surge of interest in AI-themed crypto projects. Look up the whole article. I mean, there's more to it. There's more going on. It's down to a penny. It's just not good. And I'm so burnt out on seeing this kind of shit with Solana based projects. It's just like, when will anybody freaking learn, man? This is decentralnow.com. I love to scan this and look for, you know, I found that article on here. Ethereum outshines Bitcoin, even as price remains stuck under 3,000. That's because until this whole situation with Bitcoin's price is concluded and everything can start moving again, everything else is going to be held at bay as well. The only thing that I don't think has been really touched much at all is Midnight. I feel like Midnight, it hit a 2-cent low at one point, and now it's just been hanging steady around 5 and 6 cents. And it's been very interesting to see the price action of Midnight, because there are a lot of people still accumulating Midnight. And this is Cardano on a 15-minute chart. It's currently trading at 37 cents after basically coming all the way down to a low of around 34 cents. I would love to think that we're going to start moving up from here. This could potentially be a W pattern establishing itself. We can see here in the middle that Bitcoin dominance is coming down again. But the reality is that until the day after Christmas, none of this really means squat, because everything's more or less channeling. I mean, you can see the price action and how it's just been channeling for the most part. And so, you know, I would love to think that maybe we can start really moving to the upside. But ultimately, if the top is around 90,000 right now and the bottom is around 85,000, then moving basically up and down, up and down. I mean, listen, I'd rather do that than go down further into new lows, right? So I'm not complaining at this point. I definitely want to see market cap dominance drop, though. I want to see this get down. So, you know, we'll see if that's going to actually happen or not. Make sure you check out cryptocrow.io. if you're interested in keeping tabs on like the latest alpha, the latest news, the latest things that I put together. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of content on here. There's a lot of stuff, and there are a lot of tools and things. If you want to keep track of a portfolio, you can do that. If you want to ask questions about Cardano, you can do that. You can use my staking calculator, all kinds of things. So yeah, it's generally free for a lot of the free articles and things. But if you want to be a real supporter, it's $15 a month. Let me know. I want to make sure it's working. I just fixed some major issues, and then hopefully I'll be able to like really hit the ground running with this thing and really start pumping out some cool stuff. And on Monday, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to be doing a live stream interview with bare knuckle champion, well, former champion. She did just lose a fight, but man, was that an insane fight. Jessica the Black Widow Borga. That's going to be Monday on December 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing it live right here. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications is on, because she is she's actually a spokesperson for Sech Token, which is SECH.io, which is preparing for a big launch in New Year's. I am a part of this project. I am like basically the VP of tech for this project, and we're getting so much stuff prepared. You're going to see it. You're going to be hearing about it across like 78 different major news media platforms. I'm pretty sure, including Cointelegraph, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of stuff. The socials don't have much yet. I just created a lot of the social accounts. But man, there's been a lot of money, a lot of people working as part of this. And, ultimately this is for a resort. But there are going to be so many external use cases associated with the Sech token, things that are being launched. And, I really think it's a cool, fun project. And there's so much stuff that I can't even talk about. But Jessica is in the know. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about her fight career as well as crypto. And my hope is that through Jessica, we're going to be able to educate a lot of people that maybe aren't that familiar with crypto yet. And we're going to try and educate some of these folks. She's got a big fan base, and she's cool people. So yeah, on that note, it's Friday, folks. I am definitely going to be watching the Jake Paul fight tonight. I'm very curious to see what comes of it, because I definitely expect. Here's if you want my prediction and what I think has happened with this Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight. I honestly believe, like in my gut, it's just my opinion, but it's what I truly believe. I believe that Jake Paul was trying to set up his typical mumbo jumbo exhibition event with Gervonta Davis. He was not playing the games. I think that dude is like about as real as it gets in terms of, you're not going to punk me for money. I'm not your bitch. And I'm not going to let you try to I just don't think Jake Paul was able to play the games, like some of the scripted narrative BS that he's used to with other people who are basically at the end of their careers or have already more or less retired, or they're like 60, and they're just doing it all to get a big fat payday because of Jake's popularity and everything. I don't think the Tank Davis was really playing that. And then some things happened, and they immediately took that as an opportunity to cut the mic, so to speak. I'm guessing that Netflix then said, okay, Jake Paul, you've had your fun. It's time for you to step up for this money, because the money Jake Paul and his opponent is making is astronomical. And I think Netflix said, you either get a real opponent and fight a real fight, ass whooping or not, or we're pulling the plug and we never do this with you again. And I think Jake Paul said, okay, I want to make like whatever the money is, like $80 million, $90 million. I'm not 100% sure. And I think he called down a list of people that he knows that I think are going to be a big draw, and that ultimately that people would love to watch whoop Jake's ass. That's what I honestly think happened. I think Jake Paul has taken tens of $1 million ass whooping. And I think to some extent, Jake is hoping that, because Anthony's so tall and he's big and this and that he's somehow going to be slow and cumbersome, and Jake is going to be like Muhammad Ali in this fight and avoid him until Anthony gets tired and take it to a decision or whatever. I don't think Anthony Joshua was going to let that play out, honestly, even if they had some sort of gentleman's understanding that, like, listen, we're doing this for a payday. Don't kill me. But of course you're going to win the fight because there's no way I have any chance in hell of beating you. And maybe Anthony Joshua plays nice for a few rounds to like maybe make to put on a show. Right. But I don't think anything is scripted in this. I don't think anything is, I mean, this is a sanctioned fight. Like, it would be absolutely illegal for them to do anything where they're rigging the fight or fixing it in any way, shape, or form. I don't think the rules really stand for that. I definitely think Jake Paul is about to like taste canvas. I do, but I think he's going to make a big payday for it. And I think afterwards, you know, like, he's all the richer. Everyone in the world basically got what they wanted to see. Like, any like Jake Paul haters. I'm not even a Jake Paul hater, quite frankly. I'm not a Jake Paul hater. I do believe that everything has been a spectacle and a show. And I think now is the time, like, he's got to pay the piper. Like, he's going to have to fight a real fight against somebody that could probably knock his head clean off of his shoulders. Like, all of this, like, I just believe in myself. That's cool. But you might want to practice running on water first before you like think you're going to go up against somebody like Anthony Joshua and come out with your hand raised for any legitimate reason. I mean, let's just be real about it. So I think everybody's going to tune in on Netflix tonight because, you know, let's face it, at this point, everybody has a Netflix account. We all want to see what, at this point, it's not necessarily a matter of like, is Anthony Joshua going to beat Jake Paul? It's going to be like, how does he beat him? Does he like toy with him for a while and like, thanks for the check, and like kind of, you know, catches him a few times here and there to be competitive, but he lets it go to a decision that he's ultimately going to win? Or does he just march in there, hit him 2 or 3 times to make sure Jake knows where he's at and who he's in there with, and then toys around with him for a little bit until maybe round 3 or 4, maybe 5, and then just flat out puts him the hell out? I think that's where all the betting and stuff should be taking place at this point. So when I'm thinking of Jake Paul, I'm just thinking about Crypto Zoo, Rugstar Paul. That's Logan Paul. I'm pretty sure that's his older brother that was doing the Crypto Zoo stuff. I don't think Jake had anything to do with that. I could be wrong. I don't like follow these brothers religiously. I mean, they live in Puerto Rico. I lived in Puerto Rico. I never met them. You know, I'm sure they live in their own little bubble, right? Like, with all the people that, you know, that all their staff and everybody that are kind of paid to, I don't know, like, yes, you could beat Anthony Joshua, man. You just got to stick and move. You got to stick and move, and you're going to be good, man. You got this. Mind over matter. Go meditate on this for about 65 years, and then maybe you'll be able to make that happen. But I don't know. We'll see. Michael Saylor isn't getting liquidated, so it doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't drop to 58K, I don't care. I'm long since 115. Okay. Well, yeah, let's hope. Hey, Jason, when are we going to be able to stake our midnight on the Crow node, and how's that going to work? I don't think you stake midnight. I don't think you stake midnight on the Crow node. I think midnight is going to be a potential, not potential. I mean, I know Dave, who he manages my node. I know he's got everything set up to basically when you delegate ADA and all of that, I think you're supposed to also get midnight in addition to ADA. I need to brush up on that because I'm not 100% sure on what's changed or how that all is going to work. Yeah, I mean, that's coming, but I don't think you're going to stake your midnight to an ADA node. I definitely don't. Oh, Army of Spies YouTube channel. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. I wasn't catching the AOS reference. There's so many. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But you know, I appreciate whatever support he threw over my way. So yeah, that's it for now, folks. It's Friday. I want to keep this video not too long. It's 30 minutes. That's about perfect, right? You don't need too much of me on a Friday before you guys get out of work. All the kids are going, you know, this is it today. Oh my gosh, as a matter of fact, I need to go pick her up. So until next time, grow your coins, and I'll see you again soon.
If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kinda patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm.